Oh, sick. Fortnite's got a new update. Another SMG. That's okay. They've altered the attack SMG. I guess they'll bring a new SMG in that's less disgusting.
This gun is broken.
What has happened to shotguns? I mean, did you see how fast Ninja killed that first kid? He died faster than if you were to pump him in the face. After all the initial season 5 hype has kind of died down, it's, in my opinion anyway, the gameplay of Fortnite right now, it seems to be at an all-time low. It seems to me that the shotguns are almost completely irrelevant in this update. I mean, pumps especially. Pump shotguns become so unreliable, they're not even worth picking up anymore, even in the blue variation. I mean, I guess you could just use a blue tack if you found one, but I've never been a fan of the tack. I mean, it's just spray and pray and hope those damage numbers go up, because the headshot accuracy on those things are much less than the pump. I'm starting to lose faith in Fortnite a little bit, because every update they seem to be catering towards the newbie players. I mean, building in Fortnite, like I've mentioned millions of times, is the skill cap in this game. I mean, but there's so many counters to building now. You could be building as fast as you can, but with the SMG spam and C4 and explosives, it's just impossible to outplay someone who has those things. Think to yourself for a minute, as of right now, how many build battles have you been in since these changes? How many, right? There's no more fight. What happened to fighting for the high ground? It just doesn't happen anymore. Fighting for high ground was so fun, and it was difficult and challenging, and that it was possible to get better. It was possible to play against. But now, how many noobs do you come up against that you start building against, and they just drop down, they C4 your base? It's unplayable. Nobody in the community that I saw anywhere was asking for a new SMG. When the drum gun, the Tommy gun, was introduced, it divided people a bit. People were like, oh, it's okay, it has a counter, it's okay, as long double pump's still a thing, your drum guns have a counter, right? But they've added another SMG, right? I know they've vaulted the tack, but they've added another SMG that's equally as broken, if not more broken. Who asked for that? I don't want to say Fortnite's dying, because it isn't. Okay, Fortnite is one of the most popular games I've ever played, and it will probably maintain its popularity unless devs do something completely stupid. But I see it happening time and time again with game developers. Look at Daybreak Games, look at H1Z1. The consumers and players had this image for their game to improve and go down a certain direction, and the developers had another direction they wanted the game to go down. And the developers ignored their player base and went with what they wanted, and the game died. For the love of God, Epic, please stop changing things that don't need to be changed. With the new SMGs, and with the ridiculously overpowered explosives, your materials get burnt through really, really fast. And I don't know about you guys, but no matter how much I farm, I feel like I'm always running out, no matter how many people I run into. So, personally, my thought process, trying to improve my gameplay, I thought, okay, I'll try and use less materials so I won't run out. So when I get to the high ground, I maintain high ground, rather than falling down and building back up again and wasting hundreds of materials. So what do? I sit at the high ground, players below me, what do? Okay, I go, I'll just shoot him, but he shoots me down, or he blows me up, or he plants C4 and destroys my entire structure. The other issue with materials is you get this loop of insanity. Because it takes so long to farm for materials at the beginning of the game, new players tend to farm much less than experienced players. So when experienced players run into new players, they kill them, they use their materials to try and get high ground, and they try and get above them and trap them or whatever, and those materials they can't get back unless they refarm because the new player doesn't have any. What pretty much confirmed this for me was I stepped back from the main modes. I stepped back from playing solo, duos and squads for a little bit, and I started playing 50v50 where the materials are buffed more and you get better loot. I found that much more enjoyable than playing solos and duos and squads because you have the materials to defend yourself with. Obviously, the only problem with that was you run into a lot of players late game who have a lot of splodes and it's impossible to outbuild them, but that's another issue. Back in the old patches, you used to get spammed with RPGs, and they stopped that from happening by reducing the amount of ammo. But I thought in my opinion, spammed RPGs is easier to build against than slow firing RPGs that do a ridiculous amount of damage in a ridiculously wide radius. I thought prior to this video, I'd start a discussion about this on Twitter to see what people thought before making this video, so I could kind of create some counterpoints and some good points to help me assist me in my argument, which by the way, my Twitter is @RyanOnYT. But this is what I got. No, Rin, the RPGs and Germain launchers have been through enough. Just nerf the C4, don't up the damn game even more, you piece of default.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
As funny as that was, I disagree with what he's trying to say. I just think all explosives need a massive nerf. Anyway, some of you might argue that this might be like a personal problem with how I play the game, but a lot of pro players agree with me. Here are 2 tweets just to show that. Anyway guys, thank you so much. We have hit 150 subs, boys. We are 50 subs away from doing that V-Book giveaway. 2,000 V-Bucks at 200 subs. I will be absolutely happy, deliriously happy to do that. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.